What's good, TMG fam? It's your boy L, and I'm back with another reaction. How y'all feel? Welcome back to the channel. Salute. Listen, I don't know what that was. I almost hit myself in the head. I don't know what I was about to do to myself, man. I just be winging it sometimes. But listen, man, we back with another dope video, man. This is gonna be the 5 underwater discoveries that cannot be explained. I'm always interested in stuff like that, man. And then we're gonna check out the 5 most dangerous tourist destinations in the world. Dangerous tourist destinations in the world. But people probably still try to go to these places even though they're the most dangerous. Don't make no sense. You know who won't be there? This guy. All right, so if you're new to the channel, hit the What I was about to say, hit this. Like, I am completely thrown off right now. Let me get a sip of my drink. I was about to say, hit the description button or something, but y'all know what I mean. Hit the subscribe button, join the fam, all that good stuff. Let's hurry up and get to the video. Here we go.
In the year 1969, man landed on the moon for the very first time. We had conquered space and actually set foot on the moon. Mankind had bravely gone where no one had ever gone before. But that was nearly half a century ago.
That statement always kills me. Where no one has ever gone before. How do we know that? How do we know that? How do we know that no one's ever gone there before? Like, that statement kills me.
And to this very day, we've still only explored 3% of our own planet's oceans. Imagine that.
Thank you. Thank you. We've only explored 3% of our ocean. So how can you tell me that Megalodon does not exist? Stop it.
Just 3%. That means that 97% of our planet's depths are still yet to be explored. The 3% that we have explored have shown us things that are beyond belief. And so we've brought you the top 5 underwater discoveries that cannot be explained. Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button to get notified every day for more amazing content. With that being said, let's begin. Number 5. Strange object found at the bottom of the Baltic Sea. The mysteries of our world truly are endless, but what we're focusing on here are the ones found underwater that can't be explained. So here's number 5 on the list. The Baltic Sea anomaly refers to interpretations of an indistinct sonar image. The image was taken by Peter Lindberg, Dennis Asberg, and their Swedish Ocean X diving team while treasure hunting on the floor of the northern Baltic Sea in June of 2011. The Ocean X diving team describes themselves as treasure hunters and salvage operators who specialize in underwater searches for sunken antique high-end beverages and historic artifacts. What they captured on their sonar picture and brought back was an image of something on the sea floor. The blurry yet interesting sonar image was taken while searching for an old shipwreck in the summer of 2011. The image is said to show a 60-meter wide circular object. As if that isn't strange enough, they claim that the image shows features resembling ramps, stairways, and other structures that...
That's what I was looking at too, at the ramps. Now, I know people be like, oh, the water could have possibly created that. But what if it didn't? What if it didn't? Like, that don't look like anything you can identify that's normal for everyday look or a landmark that you see every day. No, that's unidentified. That's something different there, bro. That's something different. And it looks like off to this side is where you can kind of enter inside whatever this thing is, man. That's pretty dope, though.
That aren't produced by nature. The diving group returned to the same spot the following year with the full intention of capturing a clearer image, but they said that upon arriving at the correct position, they faced mysterious electrical interference. There have, since the discovery, been all manner of theories as to what the object is. Some people believe that it's a gateway to another world or the crashed remains of an alien ship, while others refer to it as an underwater Stonehenge. Some samples of the rock were apparently recovered from the site and analyzed by an associate professor of geology at Stockholm University. The professor reported that the samples indicated that most were granite and sandstone. But amongst the sandstone and granite samples, there was a loose piece of basaltic or volcanic rock which had absolutely no place at the site where it was found. The OceanX dive team have said that there are plans currently underway to be able to transport wealthy tourists to the site by submarine. So if you have the right type of money, maybe you can go and have a look.
Man, if you got money, man, it's a lot of things you have access to that we don't have access to, bro. Like, that's all they care about is taking the wealthy down there to see and to view it. That's crazy to me.
For yourself. Number 4, underwater rivers complete with trees, leaves, and waterfalls. Underwater is a world that there is, as we have said, very little known about compared to land. This means that we're constantly finding things underwater that we never knew existed. Things that may have been there for thousands or even millions of years and are only recently being discovered. Number 4 on our list of underwater discoveries that can't be explained comes in the form of an amazing natural occurrence. An underwater river has been discovered that comes complete with its own trees, leaves, and of course, what river would be seen dead without its own waterfall? Researchers that were working on the Black Sea have found currents of water 350 times greater than the River Thames in London that flow along the seabed, carving out channels much like a river does on land. The undersea river, which is up to 115 feet deep in places, even has rapids and waterfalls, just like those on land. In terms of how much water's been found to be flowing through this underwater river system, if it were on land, it would be the 6th biggest river on Earth. But that's not the most mysterious of these underwater phenomenon. No, there's an underwater river in Mexico that has some different characteristics altogether. In Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, there's an advanced dive that'll take your breath away. Housed in a cenote or underwater water-filled cave system, there's an actual underwater river like no other. It flows right through the ocean. The strange happening is formed by limestone bedrock, which collapses and forms a pit which acts like a reservoir. The reservoir fills with a mix of fresh groundwater and salt water. Eventually, organic matter ends up in the trench, and when that decomposes, it produces a cloud of hydrogen sulfide that separates the fresh water above from the salt water below. Divers can actually swim right through the cloud, which magically resembles a flowing body of water. With fallen leaves and bare branches lining the river, you can't help but think that you're in a mystical forest.
Bro, this planet is amazing, fam. This planet is amazing, yet we keep destroying it. You know what I mean? I hate to sound like one of those, you know what I mean, whatever you call them, but this planet is amazing. Just listen to how that just formed and then it separated the salt water from the, that's amazing, bro. Amazing. A river running through the ocean, that's amazing. That's crazy to me, bro.
This underwater river in a water-filled cave in Mexico is 33 meters under the water, and yet it resembles a fully flowing body of water and has waterfalls and trees along its banks. This is really one underwater discovery that cannot be explained. Number 3.
And that's like kind of scary, bro, because you just don't know what could happen at any given moment. What or when, any of that. How, why, none of those questions can be answered. They can't even figure it out. That's mind-boggling to me. But people still go and search and discover and try to find different things just in there all comfortable. My heart, if they hooked me up while I was under there, my heart would probably be beating out of my chest. My vitals would be off the Richter scale.
Pyramids aren't just in Egypt, they're underwater now as well. When we think of pyramids, we might think of those towering objects that stick out of the deserts of Egypt in northern Africa. We would think of sand, yes, but maybe not the sand that lies on the bottom of the ocean. As far as underwater discoveries go, private yacht owner Diocleciano Silva made number 3 on our list when his boat's equipment picked up a mysterious object at a depth of 40 meters. The strange object that was discovered was a perfectly squared structure. It's thought that there's no way that this discovery could be of natural origin. That means that someone or something had to have put it there. The underwater pyramid stands at a height of over 60 meters high and 8,000 square meters at the base. It lies between the islands of Terceira and São Miguel. It's not only a strange...
I don't think nobody put that there. I just think sea levels probably rose and it just went under. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think nobody went under there and literally just built a pyramid underwater. But I mean, you can't rule out the possibility, but I wouldn't think that.
Strange thing to have found underwater, but the place that it stands and its orientation are also mysterious. The structure is oriented upon the 4 cardinal directions. The 4 cardinal directions are those that are shown on any compass, so north, east, south, and west. So a mysterious underwater pyramid that faces the 4 cardinal directions at once. Most recently, archaeologists from the Portuguese Association of Archaeological Research, or APIA as they are otherwise known, have identified archaeological evidence on Pico Island that supports their belief that human occupation in the Azores predates the arrival of the Portuguese by many thousands of years. The evidence comprises of a great number of similar proto-historic pyramidal rock structures, some of them 13 meters high. These ancient underwater structures may have been built according to an oriented plan aligned with summer solstices, which suggests they were built with an intended purpose. The vertex of the pyramid was facing north and south, like the Great Pyramids of Giza in Egypt. There are also very many people who would say that the structure could be linked to the mythical underwater city of legend, Atlantis.
See, this is like some Indiana Jones, Tomb Raider type stuff, man. You go down there and you thinking it's nothing and you go to move something or chip something away or try to discover something and activate something that's been like dormant for several million years, and now we got a coronavirus or something. Like, you never know.
The mythical city that supposedly disappeared in a day and night when it sunk into the waters of the Azores has been searched for centuries. Perhaps this perfectly oriented pyramidal structure could lead the way. Who knows? But it definitely deserves a place amongst the top 5 underwater discoveries that cannot be explained. Number 2, the finger of death is ice cold. Some of the mysteries that we uncover in the world that we live in today are seriously messed up and way beyond comprehension. There are forces at work in this world that are far too weird and wonderful for us to even know where to begin. While us as humans are going above and beyond to create and bring some of the newest ideas to life, we really do have absolutely nothing on nature. Whether it's Mother Nature or God, whoever it is has got a dark sense of humor, as can be readily seen with our next item on the list. In at number 2 on our list of the top 5 underwater discoveries that cannot be explained is beyond belief. Some of the natural forces on our planet we've already shown you the epic power of. Now, we'll show you how gentle yet deadly it can be with its delivery. Here is one of the most frightening things that nature has to offer. The so-called ice finger of death is an icicle of salty brine water that resembles a finger. The creepy phenomenon is caused by cold, sinking brine, which is more dense than the rest of the seawater. It forms a brinicle as it contacts the warmer water below the surface. In the winter, the air temperature above the sea ice can be below -20 degrees Celsius, whereas the seawater itself is only about -1.9 degrees Celsius. Heat flows from the warmer sea up to the very cold air, forming new ice from the bottom. The salt in this newly formed ice is concentrated and pushed into the brine channels in the ice. And because it's very cold and salty, it's denser than the water beneath. The result is that the brine sinks in a descending plume. But as this extremely cold brine leaves the sea ice, it freezes the relatively fresh seawater it comes in contact with. This forms a fragile tube of ice surrounding the descending plume, which grows into what's called a brinicle. Brinicles are found in both the Arctic and the Antarctic, but it has to be pretty calm for them to grow long enough to become fingers of death. When they do, however, become long enough to become icy fingers of death, they approach the sea floor where...
Perdona,
Excuse me.
Yes.
¿me puedes decir cómo llegar al centro de la...
where there are, of course, a wide range of animals that crawl about on the cold ocean floor. These creatures may be able to withstand the fairly cold temperature of the seawater, but when they're touched by the icy finger of death, there's absolutely no escaping their fate. They become part of a moving underwater ice flow of brine. Number 1. Lokis Castle is not in Asgard after all. Sticking with the frozen depths of our ocean here, we top our list of unexplainable underwater discoveries with another recent find that lies beneath the ice-covered oceans of the Arctic. Life on our planet is hard enough on the surface, let alone underwater. And if you're gonna live underwater, then surely you would flock to the waters of the Caribbean or the Maldives in order to set up home. Well, scientists have found an entire natural world underwater. And the most mysterious part is that all these plants and creatures are living happily and actually thriving in a place that's so hostile that nobody thought to look. And even when they did, we didn't have the technology for it to be possible. The before now unknown world of Lokis Castle, as it's being referred to, was discovered by researchers from the University of Bergen in Norway. These discoveries are an incredibly interesting look into a part of Norwegian culture that is underexplored. The evidence gathered by the researchers shows that there's an entire ecosystem living on volcanic seamounts in extreme
An entire ecosystem living down there, bro. That's what I'm saying, man. We don't know what is out there. We don't know. We have no clue. But we throw out things like, oh, this is extinct, or oh, this doesn't exist anymore, or oh, this went extinct several millions of years ago. But now we're discovering entire ecosystems and different things like that, man. Stop it, bro. We don't know what's out there. Man, my days are over going to the beach, fam. My kids are pool kids now. My wife is a pool kid now. Like, we're a pool family. No more beach stuff. No more beach.
conditions in the Arctic Sea. Alright, top fivers, if you haven't already, make sure to visit our other...
That's crazy. Let's keep it moving though. Here is the 5 most dangerous tourist destinations in the world. I feel like we might have heard some of these, but let's see if they got some new ones on this one.
Under normal circumstances, tourist destinations are supposed to be attractive destinations that provide a relaxing atmosphere and nurturing environment. This is what attracts tourists in the first place. But among all destinations, there are some that are known to be quite dangerous to visit. With this being said, prepare, because here are the 5 most dangerous tourist destinations in the world. You
Probably gonna hear about the Sentinelese again.
don't want to miss this. Let's begin. Number 5. Trolltunga. The Troll's Tongue is one of the most dangerous attractions in Norway. If you look at the site itself, you will definitely understand why it is one of the most dangerous places. The stone is elevated almost 800 meters high and takes 1 to about 10 hours to get to the top. In addition to that, there are no rails around the stone to protect observers from the top vantage point, and this even makes it worse. It is said that there is an Australian woman who
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dummies right there. You know why? Because what if you'd have jumped high and caused a crack with all your body weights and fell to your deaths? Oh my gosh, man. Oh my, man. Like, thrill seekers get on my nerves, man. They do stuff, man, that cause my heart to ache. They're gonna give me like palpitations.
plunged to her death from the stone this year, although it is the first ever recorded death in the Trolltunga. Number 4. Running of the Bulls. This is an event that happens every year in Spain. In this event, 6 bulls are released onto the streets, and they are left to run freely for about 825 meters. The event attracts in excess of 20,000 people each year. Statistically, about 100 people get injured on an annual basis, while over 15 deaths.
This is a real life purge. They let the bulls get out and purge, and the people are the targets, and they just out there just having fun, getting injured, possibly could get themselves killed while the bulls are purging. This is a real life purge.
Deaths have been recorded since its inception.
What?
Annual basis people each year. Statistically, about 100 people get injured on an annual basis, while over 15 deaths have been recorded since its inception. While they're at it, people might either be considered to be brave or just completely foolish by running in this event. How would you categorize these people? Let us know
Dumb.
in the comments below.
fools, ignorant, stupid.
Number 3, Mount Huashan. You want to go hike in the most dangerous place in the world? Then welcome to Mount Huashan. This is probably one of the most dangerous.
Yeah, I heard about this place, the one with the rickety board, the nails coming out of it all the way around. Like, yeah. Let's keep going.
Hiking places in the world. When you visit this place, it will not take you a minute to understand why it is dangerous. The wooden planks that have been aligned along the mountain could easily fall off anytime one steps on it inappropriately. When the planks fall off, the only option hikers are left with is to step on the foothold. Otherwise, you have to let go. It is estimated that close to 100 people lose their lives on this mountain annually. So,
100, I think the last time I heard that, I didn't even hear that stat. 100 people per year lose their lives. So you just go there to possibly be one of the 100 a year? People, man, like, I don't understand us.
Next time you plan to hike on this mountain, take note of the statistics. Number 2, El Caminito del Rey. El Caminito del Rey is one of the most dangerous walkways in the world. It's named so because Spain's King Alfonso once walked on it. It is only about a meter in width, but is linked between two cliffs that are about 200 meters apart and 100 meters in depth. However, over the years, the walkway has been neglected and is currently in a sorry state to say the least. The path is currently closed to the public, but people steal chances to go and have a hike on the path. There have been over 4 deaths recorded since the path was neglected, and this could probably explain why it was closed to the public. Even though it is closed to the public, it is still so.
Are those all alligators in a... Yo! Man! Y'all are just food right now. They looking at y'all like it's feeding time. Fam, look at that.
So popular that money is being pumped into repairs in order to ensure it is reopened. Number 1, Death Road. The Death Road is a road that stretches more than 69 kilometers and is found in the youngest region of Bolivia. Researchers have termed it as one of the world's most dangerous roads. There are several risks that are associated with this road. The first is the fact that the ground on which the road is built is unstable and not firm. This makes the road susceptible to mudslides, which also possess great risks to motorists. Another risk is the fact that the road has no side rails that are supposed to prevent vehicles from rolling over the descent that goes for more than 600 meters. Statistically, over 200 people fall victim of the road's unfriendliness, and tourists are mostly advised to avoid it. And there you have 5 most
And there you have it, 5 of the most dumbest places to go. I can do without that. It's enough other things in the world that I can go and venture to as a tourist to see without venturing to these 5 places right here that have death tolls on a yearly basis, man. Come on, man. We got to smarten up. We have got to smarten up. What are we doing? We just out here trying to die? Not this guy. Y'all get at me in the comment section, man. Let me know what y'all think. Leave a like, share the video, subscribe, and stick around and stay tuned, man. Till the next reaction, I'm out. Peace. Y'all stay solid. Hey.